In the past 12 months, I've helped 55 guys achieve an aesthetic body and a six-pack. And believe me when I say, this game is 80% mindset and 20% knowledge. A lot of you will think you don't have the knowledge or the know-how to get in shape. You do. You do not have a knowledge problem, you have an application problem. Your issue is not understanding it's 1 gram per pound of body weight. Your issue is not we need to train the muscle twice per week to failure. Your issue is not calorie deficit, it's not cardio, it's not any of those things. While they're the tactics, they're important, sure. That's not your issue. Your issue is that you currently trying to get in shape doesn't work. Because you are this 1.0 version of yourself. You are you that has never been in shape. So when you try to get in shape, there is always this constant pull for you to stay in the shape that you've always been, to stay in the character that you've always known of. Because to step away from that would be scary, for sure. Now, when I say that this is 80% mindset, it is 80% of you being on self-improvement, getting to that 2.0 version of you. 2.0 version of you, like you see in all of these photos here, even like you take a look at some of these photos, look at the difference in the face, look at the difference in the face, look at the difference in the face. Always look at the difference in the face. The physique is important, but when you look behind the eyes, this is a prime one. This is an absolute prime one. Look at this. Look at this one here. It's like looking up, prey eyes, this, and then now it's like a killer. The difference is in the face. The difference is in then how you perceive and go about life. You, as your character now, trying to get in shape will not work. Because you will always have this pull to go back to your old identity. This is your self-image. This is made up of how you see yourself, which is made up of the beliefs you've been taught, how people treat you, and then ultimately you then digest that information and put yourself out into the world. Now you need to know how to put yourself out into the world, because you need to know where you fit in. That makes up your identity. So if I wipe that clean from you, let's say you are Bob from the north of England and you are an exceptional gardener. I cut off one of your arms and you can no longer garden, your identity would go, and that would be very scary. Same principle now. When you want to get in great shape, you must let go of your old identity and build a new one. Now, I'm not here to give you just some throwaway advice. The question is, how do you do that? Well, if you look at all the photos you see on the right-hand side, they are the 2.0 version of them. They are the better character. They are the individual that got up earlier, that got a little bit faster in the run, that ate the right food, that didn't eat the junk food, that didn't drink alcohol, that went to bed early, that made all the right choices. So you can craft your 2.0 version of you. Before you even set your calorie target, before you even establish how long this transformation will take and your body fat percentage, which many videos on this channel to do so, it would serve you. The very first thing to do to serve you would be to map out the person you need to become. How does he think? What is his mindset? Who does he let into his life? How does he see the world? Is everything his fault or is everything the world's fault? Does he allow negative people around him or does he cut them off at the knees? How does he dress? What music does he listen to? What does he do in his free time? What does he do in his work time? What's he passionate about? What's he working towards? You want to script this out. You want to build out this new character, this 2.0 version of you. Because who you are right now will not be the guy that takes you to the 10% body fat that you're after. It's this new character version of you. And that is going to give you your North Star. Now, when I say this, you better be ready to go all in on this. The next season of your life wants to be with fitness. Now, I'm here and I'd like you to start right now. But you know what? If now is not the right time, if now is a very, very critical point in your work career, then don't start it now. Finish your work career, do the season of your life for the next 3 months, and start it when it's good. If it's about to come into spring and then summer, and now is not the right time, then now is not the right time. Fine. Start it in the autumn. Most people say start straight away, and I'd have more respect for you if you actually did and didn't listen to the seasons of life. However, let's be realistic. Set your environment up for success. When you're more likely to get in the best shape of your life? Is it winter or is it in summer? And only you can decide. It depends on where you're watching this around the world. You must understand when the right season is, because when it's the season of getting in shape, this will be your primary focus. You will align all areas of your life towards this goal. This means you will go to bed early, you will get up early, you will then do your steps when you wake up, you'll then be into work, you'll then be into gym, you'll then be into cardio, you'll be prepping food, you'll know what meal plan you're buying week in, week out, you'll know which gym you're training at, how long it takes to get to the gym, and every aspect of your life will be aligned to this goal. The way I want you to treat this is as if you're going on an expedition to climb a mountain. You need to train for the mountain, you need to have your kit prepared, and then the start date comes to climb the mountain. And everything is aligned with getting towards the top of the mountain. You don't get halfway up and decide, oh, I'm going to have a cheat meal, or oh, I'm just going to go off down to this pond and I'm going to swim 400 metres up and down this pond. No. When you're on the mountain, you're on the mountain. You're going to stop until you get to the top. Excuse me. The problem is when you try to get in shape, a lot of you will start, do it for 6 weeks, and then find some new shiny object and decide to go and pursue that. Stick to one thing. Do one thing well in your life. You do not have the capacity to be a jack of all trades, nor should you want to be. Be very good at one thing. Tick off that season of your life. Maybe work, then it's fitness. Then move on to the next avenue. Do not try and do multiple things at once, because you will fucking fail. Because you won't have the bandwidth to do multiple things at once. There's not enough hours in the day to do multiple things at once to a good standard. And let's be honest, if you want a top 1% physique like the guys you see here, then you're going to need to go all in on this. If you want to get 15% body fat and be happy, then fine. More for you. You need to be in a position where you want to go all in on this. So you need to let go of your current self, your current identity, with that new North Star that we've mapped out of the 2.0 character version of you, with all his characteristics and traits. I can't stress enough, if you don't do that, if you ignore my advice and you try to get in shape, I guarantee you it will last 4 weeks and you will snap back to the old version of you, just like an elastic band stretch out, boom, it'll come back to exactly the old version of you. We want to try and get it to do the opposite. We want to try and get it to snap forwards to align with that new character version of you. When you understand the difference between right and wrong, it's very hard to do the wrong thing. Like, you know the right thing to do is to go and do your cardio. So to go and do the wrong thing when you've already thought you are that 2.0 version of you, you're not going to be able to lie in bed that night and sleep very well knowing you didn't do the work. So you're going to go and do the cardio because you know what the difference between right and wrong is. If we put things in black and white, if we put things out like a Bible, like a list, like a laws from the police, thou shall fucking do 10,000 steps every day. If you don't, you get put in prison. That's essentially the way you want to look at this. These are non-negotiable things that you will do on a daily basis. You will not go to bed and you will not rest. You certainly won't rest well until you've done all of those things. But likewise, when you've done all those things, you will go to bed content. You will sleep peacefully because you know you've done everything you should have done to become that 2.0 version of you. You are working hard. And in this, why I say only stick to one thing is you will gain momentum in this area of your life. If you try and pivot from one thing to another, you'll get a bit of progress, then you'll move on to the next thing. You will halt the momentum, have to restart. It's the equivalent of driving on the motorway versus now what you're doing is driving through town, traffic light, accelerate, stop, traffic light, accelerate, stop. That's what a lot of you are trying to do when you're trying to make progress. Get on the dual carriageway and just send it at the same speed all the way through. Keep the momentum going. Don't burn as much fuel as it would do to do the stop-start method. Now that's on the macro. In the micro, you will write out what you need to do tomorrow the night before. You know fine well what the 2.0 version of you should do within a given day. In fact, as I said, you have an application issue, not a knowledge issue. You know fine fucking well what you need to do to get in shape. You've known all this time. It's in black and white. And sure, we can be a little bit smarter about it. It's not just calorie deficit, move more, high protein and train in the gym. Sure, we can absolutely perfect this. To get results like this, there's a little bit more knowledge that goes into it, but not that much. For what you need and to get to 10% body fat, honestly, you already have the knowledge inside your head. You just don't apply it to yourself. So the way you're going to do this is you know what the best version of you should do tomorrow. So you're going to write that out. You're going to give everything a time to go and do the thing. Because this is new and uncomfortable, it's not in your autopilot, it's not in your second nature. I will naturally just go through the day, and one time in the day I'll end up in the gym. Oh, yep, here we are. No, it's time to train. Okay, let's send it. I'll just end up in the gym because that's me on autopilot. I've been to the gym like 5 to 6 times a week, every week for probably the past 10 years. So it will just happen automatically. I'll find myself walking outside automatically. That's just the way it is for me. But it isn't for you. Likewise, if I was learning to play the violin, I would have to schedule that time into my calendar to play the fucking violin because it's so uncomfortable and difficult, excuse me, and far away from my current character. It would have to be given a designated time, place. It's the same with like appointments and why you'd miss them if you didn't actually schedule them into your calendar. You don't go to the dentist that often, so it needs to be structured in there so that you don't miss the appointment. For you in the beginning, while you're not that guy, you're not that character, you're the 1.0 version of you, you need to structure this. You need to give things time. You may need to give things reminders on your phone with alarms that go off so you don't miss the thing. Because we're trying to change how you go on autopilot. Right now, your basic attack is to lie in. Maybe not even to lie in. but to eat fairly average foods, maybe not even absolute garbage, but just not foods that are going to get you to the result. You tickle your bit of weights in the gym, and then you don't stick to it on the weekend, and you go out and you mess it all up. So we need to fix that, and things need to be standardized and need to be structured. If you're serious about this, you'll go all in. You will align everything to it. Your alarms will be set around your gym times. Your reminders will be set to take your chicken out the freezer so you can prep it, ready for tomorrow. You will set things like this because it's not the current version of you. And when you do that, with the North Star in mind of the 2.0 version of you that you need to become, and that on the macro, day to day, over time, with the discipline, you will end up at the point with the six-pack. I can tell you right now, to get results like this, 20% knowledge, 80% application, and you will get there. If you found this video valuable, subscribe to the channel. If you want me to do this for you, there'll be a link in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.